In the golden age of the Roman Empire, when marble shone brighter than the sun and power was the currency of survival, a name began to whisper through the corridors of the Senate: Valyria Maselina. Born to a modest family in the small town of Vectra, Valyria grew up surrounded by stories of the empire's heroes and scholars. Her father, a humble merchant, taught her numbers and fairness. Her mother, a teacher, gave her the gift of words and vision. From a young age, Valyria noticed something few dared to speak of, that Rome's greatness often came at the cost of its soul. While others chased glory, she dreamed of justice, of restoring balance between the powerful and the poor. At 16, she entered Rome, a world of gold and deceit. The markets dazzled her, the temples awed her, but the eyes of the people told the truth. Hunger, fear, and silence ruled more than any emperor did. She found work as a scribe for a senator named Cassian, who saw her intelligence and encouraged her education. She learned to read ancient Greek texts, studied the philosophies of law, and discovered how politics could be both a tool and a weapon. When Emperor Tiburon rose to the throne, Rome entered a turbulent era. Tiburon was admired by soldiers but despised by the Senate for his temper and endless wars. One day, Valyria was called to deliver scrolls to the palace, a moment that changed her destiny. Tiburon was struck not by beauty but by intellect. Valyria questioned his decrees, offering ideas to calm civil unrest. Her courage impressed him, and she was soon invited to join the imperial advisory circle, a position unheard of for a woman of her background. But influence has its price. Within months, jealousy bloomed. Senators whispered that Valyria controlled the emperor, that she was a witch of persuasion. Yet her reforms spoke louder than the rumors. She reduced taxes on farmers, opened schools for girls, and enforced trade honesty. For a brief moment, Rome thrived. The people adored her, children sang her name in the streets. Statues rose not of her face but of a lioness, symbolizing her spirit. Still, power's shadow grew. A faction led by Senator Varro, a man obsessed with authority, plotted to remove her. They forged letters, faked decrees, and accused her of conspiring against the empire. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the Palatine Hill, guards stormed into her villa. The accusation, treason. Tiburon, torn between loyalty and fear of revolt, did nothing. Valyria was taken to the edge of the empire, exiled to a coastal fortress, stripped of her title. For years she lived in silence, her name erased from history's tablets. Yet in exile, she did not wither. She taught the local people to read, helped rebuild their harbor, and kept a diary chronicling the empire's corruption. Then, as fate turned, Emperor Tiburon died suddenly. Rome descended into chaos. Famine struck, revolts spread, and the Senate, desperate for stability, remembered the woman who once saved the empire from itself. They summoned her back. When Valyria returned, gray streaks in her hair, she found the same city but a different people. The citizens who once feared her now bowed with respect. She took no revenge. Instead, she restored Rome's grain routes, reformed the Senate, and banned secret political trials. Her rule was brief but glorious, a final testament that wisdom can outlast cruelty. When Valyria Maselina died, the empire mourned. A statue was raised in her honor, not of her as an empress, but as a teacher, scroll in hand, eyes lifted toward the horizon. Centuries later, historians debated whether Valyria was real or legend. Yet in every telling, she remained the same, the woman who turned Rome's darkest days into light through courage, justice, and heart. And in the echo of ancient marble halls, her name still lingers, Valyria the Just.